Hi guys, this is Simeon from Swedish Homestead. Today I want to talk about having a rooster with your chickens, yes or no. I want to talk about the pros and the cons. Here we go. So for many people, keeping roosters is a matter of space available in the stable, but also a cost factor because roosters don't lay eggs. And they eat a lot. So it's a matter of cost of the feed. Then you have to think about, do I have to buy a lot of feed or do I feed them for free? You have to think about, do I want to hatch my own chicks? So do I need roosters? But I want to talk about specifically about two different aspects. One is the more natural flock behavior, and one is the more production thinking. In this video you will also see some footage that people probably don't show you. The downsides: bloody chickens, chickens without feathers, chickens that behave weirdly. But I want to give you the whole picture, the entire picture of things that can happen. Even if there will be people who know better and are going to tell me all the things that I do wrong and that it shouldn't be like that. Well, they're wrong. It is like this at times. There's very, very little of that kind of behavior here. Just to give you an idea what industrial chicken raising looks like. When we started out with selling eggs, we received hybrid chickens from a Swedish organic certified farm, and the Swedish standard for organic is very, very high. It is higher than the European Union standard even, which is also fairly high. And those chickens, they had barely any feathers left. They took 2 months of recovery here on the farm before they even laid their first egg. They looked miserable. They started eating each other up sometimes, and it took a while before they were back in shape, and the eggs weren't even pretty. But I'm going to show you some footage here, and it's an honest and open picture of what can happen sometimes. Generally, you can say that chickens will lay less if you have roosters with them. That's mainly due to the stress factor that the roosters bring onto the chicken. And you can also say that roosters help to protect them and find their feed. So there you have right away two pros and cons that you want to consider. So if your goal is to produce a lot of eggs, you will definitely not get the same production when you have roosters with your chickens. Now, it might not be that big of a difference, but if you add up lots of little things, then fairly quickly your egg production can drop and your margin for actually earning some money is gone. On the other side, when you have your chickens outside, the roosters will find feed for them, and the roosters will also protect them from predators. So you need to see what it is you want. I think it depends on a lot on the source of feed that you have. Do you have to buy a lot of expensive feed, or do they get a bunch of it outside? If they free range, it can be very, very helpful to have the roosters find feed. But without roosters, also a thing to consider, there can be very abnormal behaviors in the flock like this one. One thing that can actually happen, you see this chicken here? If you don't have roosters with your chickens for a long time, some of them can become kind of like a rooster. They start something that's similar to crowing, and you see this chicken is just really messed up and weird. These chickens here went for a long time without roosters, and now this chicken over there walks around, started a few weeks ago before I put the roosters in here, and makes these sounds, rooster-like sounds. It actually sounds very weird to me. So here I just put in some roosters just a couple days ago, because I need to free up the space where the roosters were, and I also want to, for hatching, get one batch of completely mixed breeds and just see how they will do compared to the pure breed chickens. Just want to see that as an experiment. And you can right away tell that there is a different dynamic in the flock, obviously, with the roosters. And you can also tell that there is more stress on the chickens. Right there, for example, you see a hen with a very bloody neck, and that is because I just put some roosters in here, as you can see here, with the chickens, and they're brutal. They can really be hard on the hens, and that's why there's a stress momentum and they will lay less. Roosters help them find their feed and they protect them from predators, but there's a lot of stress on the hens, and chickens can be very brutal. This looks very bad because she started bleeding and her whole neck turned red from the blood. You see this from time to time. It's not pretty, but it's part of the cycles. But in general, this doesn't happen so much when they have so much space as you see here, because they can run away. It happens more in little tiny stables, and that's why this here is not so normal to see in a stable like this. But you see that she's doing fine and she'll survive this. I would like if this wouldn't happen, but this is part of the chicken hierarchy. So what you've been able to witness here on camera just now were two different ways of the rooster providing feed for the hens. The first time he picked up a grain of oat and he dropped it again, just like he did there with the hay. He dropped it again after he had made sounds to get the hens to come. He dropped it and the hens ate it. And the other time he picked up some hay and the hens took it out of his beak. So to me that's just incredible, just to observe how the roosters do that and how that works. Here you can see a couple of roosters fighting. It's a Bielefelder and a breast rooster, and the breast rooster doesn't look good at all. He's gotten a lot of crap from the roosters. I've tried to separate him, but that didn't work either, all by himself. So he will just have to run away and learn who's boss here. You know, this is the downside. Nobody shows you this on YouTube. Look at how that rooster looks. And just a few weeks ago, he looked perfectly shiny feathers. He's going through a lot of fighting at the same time as he's renewing his feathers, and that's resulting in this extreme look. But yeah, this is what happens. Isn't it beautiful to see these chickens finding feed here on the compost pile, even though there are not many insects? I don't know what it is they're finding there. It looks like some fermented straw and hay, but they are loving it. So we did it last season was that we had the hens go by themselves on the egg mobile without roosters, and the roosters were in a separate stable, and we first put the roosters with the hens now that we're hatching. But I'm not sure how I will do it next year. I'm gonna try out a few systems. I'm gonna have a batch of chickens go behind the cows with the egg mobile. I will have a few different garden groups that will compost and clear garden areas for me from weeds and insects. And I might put roosters with them. I am not sure. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. It's not like a flock without a rooster doesn't work. It works great, but there are benefits from that. And if I will try to feed chickens of compost only, I really want to see the difference with a rooster and without a rooster. So that's it. I hope that you got some information out of this, and you need to decide for yourself what you're gonna do with your roosters and your chickens. You could see the stress here on this video that the roosters can have on the chickens. You can also see the pros that a rooster adds to the flock, and I think it's just important whenever you have roosters, if it's just one or several, that you have enough space for both the roosters to get away from the others and also the hens to run away. If you have a tight stable, the pecking might be much more intense when a rooster can squish or push a chicken into a corner and the chicken has nowhere to go. So that would be my my tip in this. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and if you have any more thoughts on this, just leave a comment below. We appreciate that. So thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.